Imagine a tall, cold glass sitting on your kitchen counter tomorrow morning. It is soft pink at the top from the berries, creamy underneath, and there is a quiet swirl of oats and seeds blended right into it. You can almost taste it already, cool and a little sweet, sliding down easily on a morning when food feels like too much work. It looks like a simple smoothie, the kind a grandchild might make. And yet, built the right way, that one glass can deliver as much muscle-building power to your legs as a full plate of eggs and meat, in a form you can finish in 2 minutes, even on the days you have no appetite at all. I am Dr. Grace Carter. For more than 17 years, I have worked in clinical nutrition and internal medicine, sitting across from people over 60 who told me the same painful thing again and again. They said, "Doctor, I am just not hungry in the morning anymore. I have a little tea, maybe half a piece of toast, and that is all my stomach wants." And they did not realize that this one quiet habit, eating almost nothing at breakfast, was slowly stealing the strength out of their legs. So if your appetite has shrunk with age, if mornings feel like a struggle to eat, please stay with me because I am going to show you the easiest, gentlest way I know to feed your muscles, and it fits in a single glass. Here is the simple truth your body is dealing with after 60. Your muscles do not respond to protein the way they once did. When you were 30, a small amount of protein was enough to switch on the machinery that repairs and rebuilds muscle. But as we age, that switch becomes stiff and slow. Scientists call this anabolic resistance. It means your older body needs a bigger, more concentrated push of protein at one sitting to get the same result a young body got from a snack. And the International Protein Age Group of aging experts put real numbers on it. They concluded that older adults need roughly 25 to 30 grams of protein, carrying about 2.5 to 3 grams of a special amino acid called leucine in a single meal to fully wake the muscles up. That is the target, and most seniors, especially at breakfast, come nowhere close. Before we go on, if you find it helpful to have a doctor explain these things in plain, honest language, please take 1 second to tap like and subscribe. It genuinely helps me reach more people your age who need to hear this, and it costs you nothing at all. Thank you. Now let me show you why a glass, of all things, may be the answer. Let us talk about why mornings are so important, and why the glass matters so much. While you sleep, your body does not stop working. For 7 or 8 hours overnight, with no food coming in, your body quietly breaks down a little of your own muscle to keep your blood sugar steady and your organs running. You wake up in what I call a small deficit. Your muscles have been gently nibbled at all night, and they are waiting, almost hungrily, for the signal to rebuild. That signal is protein at breakfast. Feed them, and they begin repairing. Skip it, and the breakdown simply continues into the day, hour after hour. Now here is the cruel part of aging. The very time your muscles most need a strong breakfast is the very time your appetite is at its weakest. Think about it. Many of my patients tell me they could never eat a big plate of eggs, meat, and cheese first thing in the morning. Their stomach simply rebels. And so they eat too little, the muscle breakdown rolls on, and over months and years, their legs grow thinner and weaker. This is the quiet engine behind what doctors call sarcopenia, the slow loss of muscle that makes it harder to climb stairs, to rise from a chair, to trust your own legs to carry you. And I want you to understand why the legs go first, because it surprises people. Your leg muscles, your thighs and your hips and your calves are the largest muscles in your whole body. They do the most work, and so they need the most fuel to maintain themselves. When protein runs short, your body protects the small, essential muscles first, the ones around your heart and your lungs, and it lets the big leg muscles thin out. That is why so many people notice it in their legs before anywhere else. The stairs feel steeper. Rising from the sofa takes a hand on the armrest. A chair that was easy a year ago now takes 2 tries. These are not just signs of getting older. Very often, they are signs of a body that has been quietly short of protein at the start of every day. So what do you do when your muscles are starving for protein, but your appetite has shrunk to almost nothing? This is exactly where a glass beats a plate. Let me explain why, with a simple picture. Imagine trying to carry a heavy load of firewood across the yard. If you must carry it stacked in your arms, balanced and heavy, you can only manage a little before you give up. That is solid food on a low appetite. But if someone hands you the same wood already loaded onto a small cart with wheels, suddenly you can move all of it with ease. The load did not shrink, the effort did. A well-made smoothie is that cart. It carries the very same protein, the very same muscle-building power, but in a form your body barely has to work to take in. Liquid moves through faster than solid food. It does not sit heavy in the stomach. It does not demand chewing. For an older person whose appetite has faded, or who tires while eating, or who struggles to chew, a glass can quietly deliver what a plate never could. And the research backs this up. Nutrition specialists who work with frail and older adults consistently find that liquid protein is one of the most reliable ways to close the protein gap in people with low appetite or difficulty swallowing. It absorbs quickly, it goes down easily, and it lets someone reach that 25 to 30 gram target without ever feeling stuffed. That is not a marketing claim. That is simply how a tired, aging digestive system responds best. Let me tell you about one of my patients. I will call her Eleanor. She was 74, a retired school teacher, and the sharpest mind you could hope to meet. But over 2 years her legs had grown so weak that she had stopped going down to her garden because she was afraid she could not climb back up the steps. When I asked about her breakfast, she laughed and said, "Doctor, I have a cup of coffee and I am lucky if I manage a few bites of toast. My appetite just left me somewhere around 70, so I did not lecture her about eating more eggs. I knew she would never do it. Instead, I asked her to try 1 glass each morning, a simple blended drink I will teach you in a moment. She could sip it slowly while she read her paper. 6 weeks later, she came back and told me, almost shyly, that she had walked down to her garden and back up the steps twice that week, without holding the rail. She was not running marathons, but she had her legs back under her, and it started with a glass. So let me show you exactly how to build that glass, because the details matter, and a smoothie done wrong is just sugary water. Done right, it hits the muscle-building target your legs are waiting for. Start with your protein base, the liquid you pour in first. You want milk or kefir. Both are wonderful. A cup of regular milk gives you around 8 grams of protein. Kefir, which is a tangy, drinkable fermented milk, gives you a similar amount, roughly 8 to 11 grams per cup, and it carries the added gift of friendly bacteria that are gentle on an older digestive system. The protein in milk and kefir is mostly dairy protein, which is rich in leucine, the very amino acid that flips your muscle-building switch. So 1 cup of milk or kefir is your foundation, and it already brings real protein and real leucine to the glass. I have a soft spot for kefir in particular, and let me tell you why. When milk is fermented into kefir, the friendly bacteria do some of the digesting for you, almost like a helper who chops your vegetables before you cook. The protein is partly broken down already, which can make it easier on an older stomach that no longer handles dairy the way it once did. Many of my patients who told me plain milk left them bloated or uneasy found that kefir sat just fine, and the same fermentation gives you those beneficial bacteria, the kind that support a healthy gut. A calm, well-working gut absorbs the protein you eat more completely, and that means more of the muscle fuel in your glass actually reaches your legs. So if milk has ever troubled your stomach, do not give up on dairy protein altogether. Try kefir first. But 1 cup alone is usually not enough to reach the 25 to 30 gram target your body needs after 60. So we build it up, gently. Add a scoop of plain Greek yogurt, perhaps half a cup, and you fold in another 10 to 15 grams of high-quality protein, plus a thicker, more satisfying texture. Now you are already approaching 20 grams or more, and we have barely begun. Next comes a small handful of seeds, a tablespoon of ground flaxseed or chia seeds, or hemp hearts, adds a few more grams of protein, along with healthy fats and fiber that slow everything down and keep you steady through the morning. Then add a spoonful or 2 of oats. Oats blend in smoothly, they thicken the glass, and they bring a gentle, slow-burning carbohydrate that helps your body actually use the protein for muscle, rather than burning it for quick energy. I like to think of the oats and seeds as the helpers. The milk and yogurt build the muscle. The oats and seeds make sure the building actually happens. Finally, the fruit, for taste and for goodness. A small banana or a handful of berries brings natural sweetness, potassium, and antioxidants. Now the whole glass is something you actually want to drink, not a chore you force down. And that matters more than anything, because the best smoothie in the world does nothing if you will not finish it. Put it all together. 1 cup of milk or kefir, half a cup of Greek yogurt, a tablespoon of ground seeds, a spoonful or 2 of oats, a small piece of fruit. Blend it until it is smooth and cool. That single glass can carry you to 25, even 30 grams of quality protein with the leucine your muscles need, in a form you can finish even on a morning when nothing else appeals to you. That is the whole secret. A plate's worth of muscle fuel in a glass you can drink in 2 minutes. Now let me save you from the mistakes I see people make, because they are easy to avoid once you know them. The first mistake is making a smoothie out of only fruit and juice. A glass of banana, orange juice, and a handful of berries tastes lovely, but it is almost all sugar and almost no protein. It will not build a thing. The protein base, the milk or kefir and the yogurt, is the part that matters most. Never skip it. The second mistake is making the glass so big and so thick that you cannot finish it. Remember, your appetite is small. A reasonable glass you actually drink beats a giant one you abandon halfway. The third mistake is using sweetened, flavored yogurts and flavored milks loaded with added sugar. Reach for plain versions and let the fruit do the sweetening. And the fourth mistake is drinking it as an extra on top of a big breakfast you already struggle to eat. This glass is meant to be the easy answer when solid food feels like too much, not another burden piled on the plate. Now let me talk about timing, because when you drink this glass is almost as important as what is in it. The best time is the morning, ideally within an hour of waking. Remember, you spent all night in that small muscle deficit, and the sooner you send the protein signal, the sooner the rebuilding begins. If you can make this your breakfast, or part of it, you give your legs the strong morning push the research says they need. And here is something to hold on to. Your muscles can only respond to so much protein at one sitting, so it is far better to have a solid 25 to 30 grams in this morning glass than to save all your protein for one large dinner. Spreading protein across the day, with a real dose at breakfast, is what keeps the muscle-building switch flipping on, meal after meal. How often? Every morning is the goal. This is not a medicine you take once and wait for magic. It is a daily habit, like brushing your teeth, and it works precisely because you do it again and again. One glass tomorrow will not change your legs. One glass every morning for the coming months very well may. Now, I promised you honesty, so here is the safety part, and please listen closely, because it matters. This is whole food, and for most people it is wonderfully safe. But there are two groups who must check with their own doctor first. The first group is anyone with kidney disease or reduced kidney function. When the kidneys are not working well, the amount of protein you take in needs to be carefully controlled and matched to your condition, and a big daily protein glass may be too much. So if you have any kidney trouble, please do not start this until your doctor or a kidney specialist tells you how much protein is right for you. The second group is anyone with diabetes or blood sugar concerns. Fruit juice, oats, and even the natural sugars in milk all raise blood sugar. The protein and fiber in this glass help soften that rise, but you still need to be thoughtful. If you have diabetes, please talk with your doctor or dietitian about which fruit, how much, and what portion is safe for your numbers. For these two groups, this glass can still often be adjusted to work beautifully, but only with your own doctor guiding the portions. Please never make a major change to your protein or your diet on your own if you have a medical condition. Let me give you the one trick that turns this from a nice idea into a habit that actually sticks. The secret is to make it the night before. Before you go to bed, put your oats, seeds, and fruit into the blender cup and tuck it in the refrigerator. In the morning, half asleep, all you have to do is pour in the milk or kefir and the yogurt, press the button, and drink. When the work is already done, you will actually do it. The biggest reason people quit a good habit is friction in the moment, and you have just removed it. And here is a small bonus that stacks right on top. After you finish your glass, if you can manage to stand up and do just 5 or 6 slow chair stands, simply rising from a sturdy chair and sitting back down, you give those freshly fed muscles a gentle reason to use the protein you just delivered. The food provides the bricks. The little bit of movement tells your body where to lay them. Together, the glass and a few chair stands are far more powerful than either one alone, and neither cost you a thing. So let me bring it all together for you. After 60, your muscles need a bigger, more concentrated push of protein at one sitting, around 25 to 30 grams with the leucine to match, to overcome the slow, stubborn anabolic resistance of aging. But the very time your legs need that strong breakfast most is the very time your appetite is at its weakest. The answer to that puzzle is a glass. A smoothie built on milk or kefir and Greek yogurt, lifted with seeds, oats, and a little fruit, delivers a plate's worth of muscle fuel in a form you can finish in 2 minutes, even when nothing else appeals to you. It is gentle, it is inexpensive, and one cold glass every single morning may quietly protect the very thing you most want to keep as you age, the strength in your legs and your freedom to stand, to walk, and to live on your own terms. If this was helpful to you, and you would like more simple, honest nutrition advice like this, please subscribe and join us here. This channel exists to help you stay strong, steady, and independent well past 60, and I would be honored to walk that road with you. Take good care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. A quick and important note before you go. This video is for general educational and informational purposes only, and it is not medical advice. Always speak with your own qualified healthcare provider, and especially with your doctor if you have kidney disease or diabetes, before making any changes to your diet, your protein intake, or your daily routine. Your doctor knows your body, so bring this idea to them and let them help you use it safely.